We're here with Christophe Coutelle of Huawei. Christophe, thank you for joining us today. Is CaaS really a new concept? Why does it make sense now?
CaaS, Communication as a Service, it's not a new concept. Actually, large operators, they had launched their partner programs, opening their communications capabilities long ago. So this is not new. But we believe this is making sense now because basically three things have happened. The first one is that the mobile OS players, they have educated the market on the innovation capabilities of the third parties, opening the platforms and letting third parties developing services. That's an education which is quite well understood by the industry. The second one is that we have now a more compelling communications value proposition. We have more than voice and SMS. We have rich communications, we have conferencing, so all of this is making the opening and the exposure more compelling. The third one is that we have learned from the past. In the past partner programs, some mistakes had been made, and now we have learned from that, and I think we're in a situation where we can actually be really successful in that field.
How does Huawei define CaaS?
So we define CaaS actually in two ways. One, I would say, is the legacy way. It's about opening API on top of the network so that third parties can trigger those APIs and use those communications capabilities to provide better applications, basically. So for instance, an online CRM service can be further improved using real-time communications, carrier-grade communications provided by the operator. You have APIs such as click-to-dial, click-to-conference, so this is all well understood. The second way to define communication as a service, and I think this is quite innovative, is about broadcasting what we call an SDK, a software development kit. So that's about focusing on doing the basic communication skills well, such as the coding, decoding, the authentication, those small building blocks. You bundle that into what we call an SDK, and you broadcast this SDK into as many devices as possible. So I'm going to give you an example. For instance, we have a demo running here with an IP camera, a very basic IP camera, in which we have embedded an RCS, so Rich Communication Suite, SDK. So this camera becomes an RCS contact. So the use case is very simple. We just call that camera, and this is triggering a video call between the handset and the camera so that you have a remote video monitoring, for instance, capability instantaneously available. So that's a very simple way to expand the customer base. I would say that the value proposition of the API on top the legacy way of opening is about having better applications. The value proposition of broadcasting the SDK is to have more users by enlarging that user base from people to machines, for instance.
Now, Christophe, what is the relationship between CaaS and Huawei's overall opening strategy?
So CaaS fits perfectly into the Huawei overall opening strategy, but it's really focusing on the communications capability. So it's really focused. We're not talking about a supermarket with any application you may want, any enabler you may need. It's really, basic communications capabilities, real-time communications capabilities, voice, rich voice, conferencing. We provide the management tool. We can also rely on the management tools provided by a wider opening program, such as an SDP. But the CaaS is a very well-defined field, and it's focusing on the core business of the operator. So we believe there is a quick win in that field.
What are the key success factors?
The first one is about sharing the right business model, because in the past operators used to charge for the API they were opening, so this is wrong. Now we understood, and some of the operators, namely Telefonica with their Bluvia initiative, they have understood that the additional business generated by this API opening capability is about sharing the additional value created together with the third parties and sharing it with the partner. So that's the first key success factor. You have to share. The second one, it has to be simple. Simple for the operator and simple for the developers. So it looks simple, but it's not actually. It's quite complicated to have an abstraction layer that enables developers to use the communications capabilities in a simple way. So we've been working with companies that have that abstraction capability so that it's really, really simple for the developers to use those communication capabilities. So third one is to know how to start. And some of the partners programs in the past also, they've been targeting a lot of developers since the beginning, targeting the long tail. But as an operator, you may not have the capabilities to target the long tail from the beginning. You have to focus on a limited number of partners that will actually create value for the company. So we have examples in some operators in Asia Pacific. They're working with 10, 12 identified partners, and they're developing the use case, they're taking care of them. They don't need to have complicated management tools. They really need to show to their management that this CaaS field can actually bring value to the company. Once this is proven, they can move to the long tail. But still, at the beginning, you have to start with the mid tail. So share, simple, start with the mid tail. Those are, we believe, the key success factors.
Christophe, thank you for taking time with us today.
Thank you.